Hi everyone, Chris Alex here. So it took a couple years, but finally have made another makeup look for the Killer Klowns series. And I also wanted to let you know, if you're a fan of the series, Slim is coming up. That will be the next one I plan on working on. I haven't started yet, so I do not have a timeline. But I do plan on remaking the teeth since I don't have a proper tutorial, and I know a few of you have asked about that. When I made this gun originally, I filmed the process and thought I lost the footage. So since August of 2018, I have been convinced that this footage has been gone. And I recently found it, so I will be making a tutorial for the gun. Unlike the other clown videos, I did include the head build with the makeup application. So this video is a little longer, and I hope you enjoy it. We're going to start on the ears. Take a smooth surface and sketch out a basic shape. Grab some cotton and brush a layer of latex onto the surface. Lightly press some cotton in, shaping the outer edge of the ears and the lobes. Taking latex and carefully coat the cotton. You're basically creating a skin with the latex, keeping it light since we're not soaking the cotton all the way through. Using the brush, also refine the shape if needed. Apply this thick in the middle and be sturdy for removal. For the chin, I took my stone face cast, but really any chin shape is fine to build on. Put a base latex down. I used some packing paper. I had this lying around and wanted to put it to use, but you can use newspaper or cotton, whatever you have. Took a latex soaked paper towel and used it to hold it in place, and a second piece to smooth and reinforce the first piece. Once it dries, heavily stipple latex over the area. Use cotton to create the cleft in the chin. Carefully coat in latex and use a sponge to define the divot. Now with thinner pieces of cotton, place them wherever you need them and to better blend and smooth. Go over with a few coats of latex till you're happy with it and then let it dry. For the head shape, I started out with a half styrofoam ball. There's a couple of layers of latex on the head already, and don't mind the white chunks on the head. That was foam clay left over from my sandworm headpiece. Take a 2-ply paper towel sheet and pull it apart. Put some cotton to fill in the gaps under the dome. There is some latex in the inner side to help it stick in place. Take latex soaked paper towel pieces and wrap the styrofoam. It's going to want to shift, so it might look a little sloppy the first few layers, but hang in there. As it dries, use the latex soaked cotton for larger dents around the head and also balsam up for the cheek shape. Use some sheets to continue smoothing and build up where needed. Here are those ears we made. Trim the excess off the edges. Once I find the placement, build up behind the ears with cotton and latex. And add some latex soaked paper to the front for blending. And there you go, so easy. Be sure to subscribe for more top-notch tutorials. Well, maybe not. I didn't add enough cotton behind the ears. So let's try that again. And I also added a strip of paper towel to reinforce it. Felt like the one ear was slightly too big, so I did cut the top portion off. Use more of those paper towel strips to reinforce the ear and repair the area I cut off. Now to take some latex and cotton, start smoothing the area. Also use this to build the other structures of the ear that were missing. Stipple latex over everything to get rid of paper towel texture. For even more smoothing, use latex thickened with flour and smooth with water. Also works great to further build up areas. I used a good amount on one of the ears to bring back the shape, really just rubbing it in everywhere to get it nice and smooth. Let it dry. Use some white acrylic paint and Telesis Beta Bond adhesive to paint a base coat. Apply a few layers to get it opaque. After it dries, grab Skin Illustrator Darth Moss to airbrush some shading. Followed by Skin Illustrator Black and applying it lightly. A spatter of Darth Moss And with Skin Illustrator Coven, sketch out the hairline. I wanted to create an understructure for the main spikes, so I hot glued some cones I made with pink scrapbook paper. That way, if the hair is thin, it won't be obvious. Cut the bottom of the cones to the height you want, and make sure it's slightly shorter than the final spike length. That way the tip will be all hair and not the paper. The hot glue will not hold well to the latex, so then I went in with some thickened Pomade and used it like a spackle to make sure the cones will stay in place. Apply some Pomade over the cone so the hair will stick to them. Take some hair and lay it along the base and lightly press it around the cone. For the rest of the area, apply the glue and allow time for it to dry and become tacky, and lay the hair in sections. I use a metal rat tail comb to lightly press the ends of the hair onto the head. Synthetic hair doesn't always stick that well when being hand laid. I go through each row and apply glue to the edge. This will help keep it attached and allow me to brush the hair without losing all the work. Continue to lay more rows of hair. I did get this hair from iKick Shins. It's Rasta-Free Freedom Silky and Hot Pink. I do like to apply the hair on the cones before I lay the hair in that area because it makes it easier than trying to apply it after. Especially as you work your way up, it starts to get tighter and harder to work in. This process did take a long time. I split it over a couple days since I had to wait for the glue to dry and become tacky enough to lay the hair. I drew the hairline a little further back than I planned to place it. That way I wouldn't have to worry about having a line showing through. As you work your way to the front, smaller clumps are better to work with since you want the hairline to look real nice. For the front, if there's any area where the hair is in your way, just take a little spray and hold the hair back. I'm using Got to Be Glued freeze spray. Also being careful with gluing the ends down and trying to keep it looking nice, so I tend to use less glue on the hairline so it doesn't end up looking chunky. Take your time with the hairline and make sure it's 100% dry before styling. For styling, I start by texturing the ends and break up those straight rows so they're not so obvious, and get rid of any extreme length. Also start removing loose hair. This is why you want to add the glue to the ends, or else you might end up pulling out all your work. Comb the area and pull out any loose hair. Begin to shape the spikes, using the freeze spray to hold the shape. Carefully separate the areas for each spike and go ahead and trim the ends to get the length you want. If you need to remove a good amount, just start to cut a taper so you can keep that nice tip shape. I do go back and forth to the spikes, adding more product and further shaping. This took a while to get it styled, and it also does make quite a mess with all the loose hair. I did have to clean my hands throughout the process since the hair loved to stick to them. And halfway there. Add some freeform spikes between the cones and clean up the spike tips and spray it all down for some added hold. Powdered the hairline and used scissors to pick up the ends and snip them off and clean up the edge. Also trimmed any rogue hairs on and between the spikes. And there's the head. Makeup time. Glue your eyebrows down with a glue stick to protect them from the prosthetic. Take Telesis Beta Bond and apply it to the chin and carefully line up the piece and finish gluing the edges. Use latex to blend into the skin and add a couple coats. Once dry, use Skin Illustrator Zero Color Powder to get rid of any tack. Now the head. I did put the head on and then push it back to get the glue onto my forehead. Then once that's in place, start working your way down the face. Follow up with a small glue brush for any little areas that got missed. Stipple latex over the edges and powder. In Illustrator White with a torn makeup sponge and start coloring the exposed skin. Switch to a brush to blend further. Skin Illustrator Zero Marble Sealer to seal it all. Skin Illustrator Darth Moss and spatter the new white area. KVD Vegan Beauty Super Pomade and Whiteout around the eyes. Add some Skin Illustrator DT blush and spatter the temple areas and the ears, and spray some more of that Zero Marble Sealer. Back to the Skin Illustrator Darth Moss. Start to sketch the features and markings. Once everything is roughed out, take Skin Illustrator Mardi Gras palette and mix the Purple Justice and French Qtr Fuchsia. This will give you a brighter purple shade, and airbrush it around the eyes. Add shading with Skin Illustrator Darth Moss in the airbrush. With the Mardi Gras palette again, take Cajun Red and paint in the lips and cheeks. Follow that up with taking the blue Bayou color and fill in the eye markings. Then onto the black Skin Illustrator for the part above the blue. And then the stars around the eyes. Mehron Starblend and Sable and add some better defined shadows along the wrinkles. Then to further darken, took some black Mehron Starblend. KVD Vegan Beauty, Pomade, and Graphite to fill in the rest of the eye area. Also use this to make the star points under the eye. I use this instead of Skin Illustrator only because I was on a roll and didn't feel like swapping products. Back to shading with the black Starblend. Went in with some more red to clean things up and extend it onto the face some more. A thin brush and black Mehron edge start lining everything. Switch to a larger brush and apply it thinner for some soft shading. Mehron Paradise Paint in pink adds some highlights on the cheeks and along the lip. Pop in some more lines on the mouth. Mehron Edge in white and add some bright highlights all over the face. Thinner lines along the lower edge of the lip and blotchier spots higher up. Bring the white onto the markings to give them more dimension. Tap it in if it gets a little too heavy. Go in with more Mehron Black and add some more wrinkles and darken some spaces. Add some more highlights since the white does tend to soften as it dries. Black Skin Illustrator and an airbrush and really deepen those shadows. Did some super light noodling on the side of the head for some added texture. Used white Skin Illustrator to get some really opaque highlights throughout. KVD Vegan Beauty Lash Liner before adding contacts. The lenses weren't as bright as I would have liked, so I did augment them in the intro and add the nose, and there you go. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time.